As we approach the one-year anniversary of Mike's passing, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on his enormous impact on my life, as well as the lives of countless union members throughout Rhode Island. First as a local union president, and then as president of Rhode Island Council 94, Mike spent decades protecting jobs, negotiating fair contracts, and organizing the unorganized. His leadership and vision helped to build off the foundation laid down by his predecessors and move Rhode Island Council 94 to the next chapter. Personally, Mike was first and foremost a friend, having met him in my childhood through my dad, who served as his vice president at Local 528 for 3 decades, and later, as I grew up and got involved in the union, Mike became a mentor, a confidant, someone you could always rely on. More than anything, Mike was a proud family man who spent a lifetime building a beautiful family with his wife Claudette. He was immensely proud of his 3 children, Corey, Faith, and Michael, and his grandchildren. Some of my fondest memories will always be discussing youth sports, sharing stories of my kids, and Mike sharing stories of his kids and grandkids. I will always remember him as a family man, as a union man, and as a friend. Rest easy, Mike.
You know, for Mike, union activism was a family legacy. It was in his DNA. Mike was a humble working class guy, down to earth, a straight shooter. When it came time to protect the rights of Rhode Island public service workers, he was a fighter. He didn't back down from anyone. Whether it was organizing, political action, or bargaining, he always worked his tail off to strengthen our union.
I met Mike Downey probably over 30 years ago through the union conventions that we had in the 90s. And in 2000, I started organizing for Council 94 on a part-time basis. And I met with Mike about, opportunities about trying to organize some other people at the University of Rhode Island. And in 2002, we developed a full-time organizing program, and we were trying to organize the unorganized workers. And in 2003, some members of the executive board, when Tom Shillel became ill, voted to abolish the organizing program. And that same year, they had a special convention. Mike led the charge at the special convention to reinstate the organizing program at Council 94. And he was successful in that fight, and the organizing program was reinstated. And under Mike's leadership, the organizing program really grew, and there was a number of successful organizing drives we've had over the year, from private sector food services to the big group, which is the Walsh Independent School Employees, which was over 400 employees who affiliated with Rhode Island Council 94. We worked well together on a lot of different things. We worked through some of the most difficult contracts together in some places like Central Falls, which faced some challenges, and numerous other times we worked together negotiating contracts and going through organizing drives and elections for those organizing drives.
So what I remember most about J. Michael Downey is he was an extremely talented rank-and-file leader who was always dedicated to obtaining the dignity and respect for all workers. Mike especially cared for the members who made the least amount of money and always told staff to prioritize those members and to remember that we had a duty to increase the wages and benefits of all our members.
He's been a good leader for Council 94. Again, they've negotiated some successful state contracts, and we've had success over the years with organizing.
I have so many memories of Mike Downey, but my strongest memories come from the many moments where I found him to be an encouraging leader. He spent a lot of time, sharing positivity with members and with staff. And for me personally, my role in Council 94 from my first moments as an executive board member to the Women's Leadership Academy, Mike continued to encourage my growth, which then meant so much more to my members. It's life is a learning process, and I think Mike was a teacher in my learning process. He showed me great leadership skills because that was how he lived out his leadership role.
Mike had a great talent and instincts when it came from gauging the pulse of the members and what was really important to them. There are many times that staff would be convinced that we knew the correct way to do something in accordance with the contract or the right policy or procedure or argument. And Mike would always make us think about tough issues in different ways and refocus it onto what the members wanted and what the members deserved.
His voice was powerful, and I loved it when he got a little testy on an issue. I loved that.
Mike was also very dedicated to his family members. His family members we owe a great deal to, who were willing to share him with us so much and with the membership. But he also cared very deeply about his union family. And we, who had the pleasure of working with him in my and John Burns' case for over 20 years, Mike Downey was a very invaluable sounding board in some of the very difficult situations we would run into between members and their employers.
And last year, when we received the news from his wife Claudette that Mike had passed, it was a shock to me and to everyone. And the fight continues to this day. And we have new leadership here now in Mike McDonald. So over the years, I think we did a lot of good work together and really built up the union to what it is today. So we miss him dearly.
On this birthday anniversary of Mike Downey's passing, I wanted to recognize him today and every day. He will forever be in my heart and in my thoughts. You see, to me, he was more than just the president of Council 94. He was also a friend, a mentor, and a confidant. The Mike I knew, he was a hell of a funny guy. As recording secretary, I had to sit next to him in negotiations, and the best was when he would kick me under the table, put his head down and mumble something to me, like, oh, I can't believe they just said that, or and I had to not laugh. He was so funny. I had a bar. He used to come down and we'd have a band play at the end of summer, and him and his wife, and he'd bring some friends from Charlestown. We just had so many good times. Mary Riley, her annual golf tournament, Claudette and I got really close because she volunteered and I volunteered, and Mike would show up when he could. But he was just so personable. He was fun-loving. His family meant the world to him, and his Ask Me family meant the world to him too. He's just a good guy.
I feel that Mike gave of himself to every person whose path he crossed, whether it was a union member, a family member, or and just that's how I feel about Mike Downey. Mike Downey gave of himself to every person who crossed his path.
But on a personal level, he certainly was a good friend. We also have another love of the New England Patriots. We were season ticket holders together, and we spent many times tailgating and in stories. And it's how I got to know his family better, through those football games. His family attended a lot of them with us together.
He was a family man who loved his wife Claudette and their children. And when his family started to grow with grandchildren, there was a special glow to him when he spoke to them. Whether he announced that it was his first time babysitting or the first time he sat for all four of them at that time, or just going to their games, he just lit up. I cannot say I was his closest friend, but when speaking to Mike, I felt like I was. I wish our talks and you, my friend, rest easy.
Mike, for those of you who just rest assured that the fight goes on, and those of us who are still fighting the good fight, remember you fondly and miss you.